Welcome back to the Gronix test bench. Now we're going to show you how to change the pre-filters on a GX150 or GX150 high flow. The cool thing about this unit, it has two clear housings. So you can see when these pre-filters are dirty. Usually the sediment gets dirtier before the carbon as it catches dirt before it hits the carbon. And you'll see them turn brown and rusty. For the sake of the video, we don't have a dirty one here to show you, but here we go. So it's very simple. The first thing you want to do is turn off your incoming water supply. Turn it off. And then, as these membranes can withhold pressure, they can store pressure, open the flush valve. And that'll let any pressure in the system drain out the drain. Now I have a depressurized unit. It's probably easier for a lot of people to let this thing sit down when you do this. I'm going to do it standing up just so you can see what I'm doing. But very easily, just slide up the membrane wrench, the filter housing wrench rather, and turn it counterclockwise, like that. And you can do the same thing here. Just give it a half turn, and then the rest should come off hand tight. There's one housing, and here is the carbon. And then you can set the GX down like that. Pour your water out. Both housings. Remove your old filters, even though these ones are brand new. You're probably going to want to wash out your housings as they get dirty over time. Just put them under running water. Use a brush if you have one. You can even use a little bit of bleach. Wash them out real well. While you do this whole process, make sure you do not lose the O-ring at the bottom of the top of this housing. There's a rubber O-ring here. That's very important. And on reinstallation, I want to grease this O-ring. A light layer of this silicone grease, it's food grade silicone grease actually, on this gasket will keep it from pinching when I tighten it back up, and it'll make it a lot easier to take off in the future. We install this for you when you buy the unit brand new, and you'll probably find that the filtering housing the housing isn't that tough to get off. And I'll do the same thing to this unit. Just pop it out, comes out really easy. A little bit of grease, just grease up the O-ring. Make sure it's seated all the way inside the housing. You can see it like that, all the way in. So simple. Now I'm going to install my sediment filter. I'm going to install my carbon filter. Make sure you don't lose these rubber gaskets on the bottom. I'm also going to put a little bit more grease on the top of the sediment where it touches this plastic boss, and a little more grease on the top of the carbon where it touches the same plastic boss on the other side. And then hold your filter by your cool GX handle and just screw on your filters. Sediment first, closest to the input tubing, sediment, then carbon on the left-hand side. Now, as you tighten them, you're going to feel that rubber seal touch the filter housing top. And just when it gets there, give it a 1/16 of a turn. And you're good to go. If you feel like you haven't tightened them enough, feel free to use the filter wrench. Don't over-tighten these. These are meant to be hand-tightened only. You can give it the tiniest secure twist. And that's it. I wouldn't go any further. We're ready to fire it back up, so I'm going to close the flush valve. And now it's safe to turn on my incoming water pressure. I'm not going to turn it on full blast. I'm going to turn it on slowly, letting the air purge out of the system. Otherwise, the air pocket could blow out a fitting. So here we go. You can see my water filling up the sediment first, then it's going to move on to the carbon. I'm going to hold up the drain line so you can see the air getting purged from the system. There it is, spitting out. And the sediment just filled, the carbon just filled up as well. Air bubbles are still coming out. And it's just about purged, so now I can bring on the full water pressure. And there we go. We're back to normal operation.